What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today I got an actual pretty viable build that's not the meta build. I know a lot of people are getting tired of just the meta builds, you know, building a twisted blade, poison, single target damage rogue. But I'm going to show you guys a cool ice rogue that is super viable even at level 59. I haven't gone too far past the end game, but I figured, you know what, why not show you guys a build that's easy to do, and you only need 2 aspects for it, which you can get in the fractured peaks, both of them. Now the 2 aspects you need to make yourself pretty much a ice tank that can deal a lot of damage, you're going to need this one. It's for the Flurry. Let me go over to it. This is for aspect of encircling blades, so your main core skill that we're going to use, Flurry, goes in a circle. So pretty much you roll into the enemies. I'm going to show you guys some gameplay here in a second, and then when you hit this, it hits everybody around you, pretty much just eliminating the whole group. And you also need the barrier one, which is in the fractured peaks at the Lost Archives right here in the corner. So there's Kovashed, there's the Lost Archives. So with the barrier, if you hit an elite, you're invulnerable for, I believe it was, let me see. If I can find it. You're invulnerable for 10 seconds. And it could happen every 30 seconds. So I'm going to go over the build real quick, and then we'll get into some gameplay. Now right off the bat, this is with all of them besides 1 skill point extra. I believe it's just 1 skill point I'm missing. Let me double check that. Yep, just the 1 skill point for this area. I believe I got it all for the other ones. So, and I'll tell you where I'll put that skill point if you guys have all your skill points plus level 50. So right off the gate, you're going to start with Puncture. I like Puncture because it's fast and it does vulnerable. And it is a marksman skill, not a cutthroat skill, even though you're using your daggers. And then you do the 2 synergies with it. I like this synergy. Now spreads to 3 blades, dealing 35 damage. Hit every 2 is a vulnerable. So that's what we need, vulnerable. Now don't worry about all these plus 2s here. I don't use any of these other skills. The main skill I use is Flurry at rank 5. And then you want to go into the synergy, and then this one. If Flurry hits a vulnerable enemy, it makes all the enemies around it vulnerable as well. So you're constantly group hitting those vulnerable hits. And then in your agility skill, you're going to use Claptrops. Mainly just because of this cold one for the chill. And you won't be really using it. You don't have to put 5 points in here. I guess you could put 1 point and then spread them out to other synergies if you want. But you definitely want this cold one here. It's a good escape option if you need it. But it's not really used as much as you think. Now, for your subterfuge skill, you just put 1 point in the smoke grenade. And then you put the one here that if the enemy is vulnerable, slowed, chilled, then it'll daze them for 20% longer. And it's like 4 seconds. So 20 seconds if they're already slowed or any of the other aspects that are on this. Which is good. You know, you want to chill them, throw your smoke grenade, and then just wreck them. Now over here, in your imbuement, straight cold imbuement, I got a 9, but put 5 points in there. And then you want this one, and then you want the one that says deals 20% damage to crowd-controlled enemies. You definitely want that one. Now your ultimate, you can have whichever ultimate you want. Most people are going to go with Death Trap because it sucks them in. So it brings the enemies into you so you can wreck them out even faster. I'm going to be honest, I went with Rain of Arrows just for one reason. Mostly because it's a marksman skill. But I did it because I have if I can find it, I have an item right here, the Word of Hakon. And it says your Rain of Arrows does all the imbuements, plus I get 2 to all my imbuements. So now I have 2 to my cold imbuement as well. But this will do poison, cold, and shadow damage with my Rain of Arrows. So when I do have to bust out that ultimate, it's putting every one of your imbuements on the enemies. And it pretty much takes up the whole screen. Now I like this one for your specialty point. Close quarters combat. damaging a close quarter enemies with a marksman or cutthroat skill, which your flurry is a cutthroat skill and your puncture is a marksman skill, so they both apply. While both attack speed bonuses, you deal 20% increased damage to crowd control enemies. So you're just doing a shit ton of damage to anybody who's frozen. Now for the specialization, I go with combo points. You're probably going to want to do inner sight or preparation, but I'm doing combo points again because I have a item. Where is it? One of these items here. Oh yeah, your core skills deal 40% increased damage when spending 3 combo points. Your base skill has a 30% chance to generate 3 combo points. Since I'm using this dagger, I use combo points. But if I wasn't, I'd probably just be using preparation. Now from there, let's talk about your rest of your points. Where are they going to go? I put 3 points into sturdy for damage reduction because I'm trying to be tanky, and 1 point into just heal a little bit. So as I'm critically striking, I'm healing, which you're probably going to be critical striking a lot. 1 point into weapon mastery, 1 point into rugged, 1 point into reactive defense, 1 point into concussive, 1 point into rapid gambits, 1 point into trick attacks. These are 1 point wonders, great things to have. I put 3 points into exploit, so I deal 18% extra damage to healthy when they're 100%, and then injured when they're below 35%. And then 3 into malice, 9% damage increase to vulnerable. They're always pretty much going to be vulnerable. From there, I got 3 points into frigid fitness and 3 points into chilling right. So right there, those you max out. And that's all the points. Now my extra point, I'm probably going to put into precision imbuement. So without further ado, I say let's get into some gameplay. I found a dungeon right here. I think it's going to work pretty good to show an example because there's a lot of enemies in it. So right off the bat, when you get into a dungeon, all you want to do is activate your cold imbuement. So it's on the cooldown, ready to go, and then you save the +2. You'll run into your enemies. You'll throw your smoke grenade at them. You can start with your rain of arrows, so it starts to cool down. This might just kill them all, though. And then you just roll into them and do your flurry while holding your button for attacking. So you're constantly vulnerabling them. While you're constantly hitting them with vulnerable, you're spinning. You're spinning. And then you put your cold imbuement on. And you're constantly doing that, and they're just constantly dead. Let's go find some more enemies. Let's see if we can find another elite pack, and I can show you guys more. So here we go, we got some enemies. So like I said, you can start with your stun grenade, and then just go in there and clear them out. And when you damage that elite, you do get the barrier from the Lost Archives, so you are invulnerable to damage. And like I said, you could hit that, it chills them, and it just clears them out. So it is very viable, even in in-game. Like when I run into a lot of enemies, see right there, you can get away with that. Hit them, they don't explode. And it just clears groups of enemies. So you'll be clearing while in there. And as they're dazed, you have one of your synergies that knocks them down. And you just finish them off. Oh, we've got to watch out for that's the worst after person explosion. The one that does the one explosion and the 3 waves. If you're not paying attention, oh my god, that one, there was like 2 enemies that had that. If you're not paying attention, that will kill you. I've died a few times because I didn't see that. Because sometimes you kill them so fast you don't know what stats are on them.
I need more time.
Oh, this is one of the most overpowered shrines in the game, so it doesn't matter actually what you're doing when you get this. This shrine is so overpowered. That and the conduit shrine. The conduit shrine is crazy. Now with this one, I'm supposed to kill every enemy, but I'm running around just to show you guys how good the build is. But this, oh look, he's another one of those exploding ones, so watch out for that. And it will target you for the 3 waves of fire afterwards. The first explosion is just to get you away from them, and then it targets you, so make sure you're moving around. Pick up the stuff if you want, but honestly, for a non-meta build, It's really viable. There we go, I just hit level 60. I'm thinking about doing the World Tier 4 dungeon, because things are a little bit easy. There's a Blast Wave Shrine. This shrine sucks. But I mean, everybody wants to talk about the meta build. I wanted to show you guys the Ice Rogue build, because I think it's very fun to play. And maybe not PvP, but it does very well in just PvE. I mean, I have no complaints with it. You kill elites fast. You kill bosses super fast. You could sit there and tank it if you put a bunch of rubies in. I'm not going to do that adventure or that side quest or that event. You have plenty of crowd control. You have plenty of ways to escape. Like I said, you could put your claptrops down, run away. That also freezes them and makes them chilled. So you do even more damage when you're in there. And you could constantly spam this and you attack so fast. So your basic skill, you're just spamming out
I'm not ready yet.
while you're waiting for those combo points, if you're using combo points. If not, you're just waiting for your flurry to recharge, and then you're hitting them with the circle of flurries. But most of the time, I just clear enemies. I just roll into them and clear them out. So let me know what you guys think of the build down below. I'm curious to see what you guys have done, or if you guys are just doing the meta build. It is what it is. But I had a lot of fun making this. I'm going to go ahead and just show you my gear real quick, if you guys kind of want to match. So let me show you my gear, if you guys are curious. Some of it still needs to be upgraded, and some of it needs to be changed the aspect on. But here's my gear. This gives me another 2 ranks to cold, so I have a total of 4 extra ranks of my cold imbuement. This allows me to get the barrier, and this is just the basic aspect barrier. You can find a better one in the wild. This is my gloves. They allow me to, when I damage them, it has a 20% chance to summon a shadow clone. It's not really that good. I can change the gloves in the future. I got it for the 20% vulnerable, and the rank +2 to all core skills is amazing. Then I got my pants here. It gives me a free Dark Shroud. Dark Shroud just takes some damage away. So if you just sit there for a second, but plus the +4 potion capacity, along with the 8% reduce on the cooldown of my imbuement, makes me a little more tanky. I got 2 rubies in there. I want them higher rubies, so I got even more life. When a crowd control enemy is there's up to a 48% chance that the crowd control effect will spread to others. So again, I'm spreading that around and just doing even more damage. This does 28% damage to crowd control, along with some dexterity, some overpower, and 28% to frozen. And this has my flurry on it. And because it's a 2-handed weapon, the 8% becomes 16% increased damage. Which you can. I have one right here. An aspect that I'm waiting to put on something. This has 14%, so if I put it on another bow, it'll be a 29 or 28%. So that's even double what it is. It's one off perfect for the roll. So I do have that ready to go. Now my amulet is the Word of Haken. Then I have this ring here that distant enemies have an 8% chance to be stunned for 2 seconds when they hit you. So this is good for the bees and the spearmen, the Moon Clan spearmen. Then I have the rapid ring here, which I'm surprised none of my rings are unique. This just does basic skills, gain 15% attack speed. That's why I can throw those blades so fast. I have a unique dagger, which does the core skills, which is why I use the combo points. And the amulet is while I use the rain of arrows. So if I did not have this amulet, which this is a really good amulet, if I did not have this amulet, because it does ultimate skill damage and everything, I would use Death Trap. So thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. You guys have a good day. Don't forget to subscribe.